No one in the Galactic Concord wanted to admit they were afraid, but the numbers didn't lie. 3 fleets. 3 entire fleets. Gone. No distress signals, no escape pods, no wreckage, not even a radiation signature that a ship had ever been there. All 3 had vanished within a narrow stretch of space. The Concord had long considered an unremarkable frontier, a small spiral arm, quiet, primitive, barely charted. Only one inhabited planet of note. Earth. At first, the Concord dismissed the disappearances as navigational failures or rogue singularities. But by the time the Third Fleet failed to report in, panic spread through every level of government. Dr. Khelen Vorr, senior xenostrategist, summarized the situation bluntly during the Emergency Council session. We are losing fleets, resources, and officers at an unsustainable rate. Something on or near Earth is eliminating them. The council chamber fell silent. Finally, Admiral Vesh of the Rokari leaned forward, mandibles clacking. The humans. Khelen shook her head. Impossible. They lack the technology. Their planetary defenses barely qualify as Class 2. They have no orbital weaponry, no warp interdiction systems, no antimatter barriers. Then what, the Admiral growled, is destroying entire fleets. No one answered. No one could. Not until a 4th fleet vanished. Beginning. Earth, the dead zone. Earth had been officially classified as low-threat developing species 391st. Humanity. Their transmissions were chaotic but harmless. Their technology was primitive but promising. Their wars were brutal but local. They had potential, but nothing the Concord was urgently concerned about, until the disappearances. So the Concord did what it should have done after the first incident. They sent a scientist. Dr. Khelen Vorr was not a soldier. She was small, soft-spoken, meticulous. Her species resembled tall bipedal reptiles with bioluminescent scales. She preferred research labs over war rooms and questions over orders. So of course the council forced her into a stealth ship and pointed her straight at the most dangerous zone in the sector. Observe, they told her. Investigate, and do not engage the humans. She expected boredom. Bureaucratic reports, maybe 1 or 2 anomalies. She did not expect the silence. Her instruments went dark the moment she crossed the outer perimeter of Earth's gravity well. Every sensor failed simultaneously. Not jammed, not scrambled, erased. Something around Earth made her entire ship blind. Khelen swallowed hard. Begin manual scans, she told her onboard AI. No response, the AI replied. Processing power is unavailable. Unavailable. A chill ran down her spine. She drifted toward Earth, her craft gliding silently past the moon, where she saw it. Her breath caught. Floating in lunar orbit was debris. Lots of debris. Sharp metallic fragments, scorched hull plating, shattered engines, twisted armor, Concord ship parts, thousands of them. Her blood ran cold. No. The missing fleets hadn't vanished. They had been destroyed. And whatever had done it so thoroughly that not a single distress beacon survived. She tried to take samples, but the moment she launched a probe, a pulse of white light disintegrated it instantly. A planetary defense system. Something Earth should not have, and yet... Khelen scrawled notes furiously. This changes everything. Then her ship shook, warning lights flared, external hull vibrations. Something was touching her craft. Her heart hammered. She expected a weapon, a tractor beam, a hostile boarding attempt. Instead, someone knocked on her cockpit window. A human, in space. No suit, no oxygen, no visible protection. Just floating there, tapping the glass like she was late to answer the door. Khelen screamed. The human smiled, waved and mouthed through the glass. Can we talk? Middle, the human they sent. The human phased directly through the hull like it wasn't even solid. Khelen stumbled back, tail smacking a console. You, what, how? The human brushed imaginary dust off his sleeves. Sorry about the dramatic entrance. Your hull material is stubborn. Took me a few tries. She gaped. No species in the Concord could phase through matter, not one. He extended a hand casually. Hi, name's Mason. Earth's negotiator, I guess. Welcome to our little corner of the galaxy. Khelen's voice shook. What? Are you human? That's not possible. Mason laughed. Yeah, we get that a lot. He glanced at her shattered sensors. Sorry about your ship. Earth doesn't like being scanned without permission. Defense protocols kick in automatically. Khelen forced herself to breathe. You destroyed 3 fleets. 4, he corrected. The last one didn't even announce itself. Rude, honestly, why? Mason floated idly, cross-legged in zero gravity like a bored child. They wouldn't stop pointing weapons at us. Our planet's anxious. We've been changing. Khelen's frills dimmed in surprise. Changing how? He grinned. Want to see? Before she could protest, he touched her forehead, and the universe exploded. Not literally, her vision simply flooded with images, memories not her own. Landscapes shifting, humans glowing like stars, minds expanding, physics bending under their will. Humans lifting mountains, humans teleporting across continents, humans reshaping matter with thought. It wasn't technology. Humans had evolved, rapidly, violently, beyond comprehension. She stumbled back as the vision ended. That's impossible. You've only had interstellar potential for a few hundred cycles. Evolution doesn't ask for permission, Mason said. Khelen stared, trembling. How? What triggered this? Mason floated beside the viewport, staring down at Earth with something like pride. The sun? What about it? Changed. Her jaw tightened. Stars do not simply... It did. He tapped the glass. A surge, radiation we'd never seen before. Hit Earth about 20 years ago, did something to our genes, started waking things up. He shrugged. Humans began developing abilities. Some small, some not so small. Khelen's voice was barely a whisper. You're ascended. Not all of us, Mason corrected. Maybe 1 in 1,000. Rare. But growing, and those fleets. He sighed. Look, we don't want war. We don't want attention. We just want to be left alone while we figure this out. But your fleets? They came armed, shields up, battle stance. That triggers our planetary instinct. Instinct? Mason turned to her, eyes glowing faintly. Earth protects us. Khelen froze? Earth? Not humanity? The planet? Before she could question him, alarms blared. Her ship vibrated violently. What now? She shouted. Mason raised a hand. Relax. Another fleet just tried to jump in. Another? Khelen gasped. They never learn. He snapped his fingers. Space outside her viewport rippled like water. On the other side of the ripple, the 4th, or was it the 5th, fleet appeared, then vanished. Not destroyed, not damaged, just gone. Khelen stared in horror. What did you do? I didn't do anything, Mason said calmly. Earth did. She grabbed the console, terrified. Where are they? No idea. Earth tossed them somewhere. Could be another dimension, a pocket universe, maybe right back home. Hard to tell. You can't just make fleets disappear. Tell them to stop pointing guns at us. Khelen collapsed into her seat, shaking. This wasn't just another species. This wasn't even evolution. This was ascension. Humanity was becoming something the Concord had no protocols for. Something that could bend space, erase fleets, manipulate matter, walk through hull plating. Something that frightened even the Council's war-hardened admirals. What do you want from me? She whispered. Mason smiled. To talk, middle-late, what Mason revealed. Khelen forced herself to breathe slowly, the way her mentors had taught her. Fear clouded analysis. Panic dissolved reason. She had to stay calm. Explain, she said finally, please. Mason drifted beside her, elbow propped playfully on an invisible surface. I'll keep it simple, he said. Humans don't want the galaxy involved. We don't know how far these abilities will go. We don't want to hurt anyone. Khelen gestured weakly at the debris in lunar orbit. You erased 4 fleets. They aimed weapons at us. They were investigating by aiming a planetary railgun cluster straight at Earth. Mason shrugged, again. Rude. Khelen buried her face in her hands. Mason, if you told the Concord what was happening, we could help. And then what? He asked. You'd monitor us, study us, contain us. The galaxy has rules for dangerous species. He leaned close, voice lowering. We don't want to be contained. Khelen shivered. What do you want, then? Mason looked down at Earth. Time, space, quiet, he smiled. And for your fleets to stop poking around. Khelen shook her head slowly. They won't stop. They're terrified. Then we'll keep making them disappear, Mason said simply. You can't do that forever. Try us. Kellen's frills trembled. The Concord will go to war. He shrugged. They already did. 4 times, and they'll escalate. So will Earth. She stared at him. Are you threatening us? Mason's expression softened. No, I'm warning you. He reached out, gently touching her hand. You're not like the others. You came alone, curious, not hostile. Earth noticed. That's why your ship didn't get erased. Her eyes widened. You're telling me I survived because I wasn't afraid? No, Mason corrected softly. Because you didn't come with violence in your heart. Khelen swallowed hard. So, what happens now? Mason floated backward, drifting toward the wall, then phased through it as easily as stepping through mist. Now? His voice echoed faintly. Now you go home and tell them the truth, and if they don't believe me, then I hope they like disappearing. He gave a friendly wave. Safe travels, Doctor. Then he was gone, just like that, ending the Concord's choice. Khelen's flight back to Concord space felt like sleepwalking. Her mind churned with data, fear, and a strange awe she couldn't shake. Humans hadn't just changed. Earth had changed. And it was choosing who could touch it. The council chamber was packed when she delivered her report. Every admiral, every politician, every intelligence officer, the entire galactic hierarchy buzzing with rigid, nervous energy. They listened in silence. Not a cough, not a murmur. She finished, the room erupted. Impossible, lies, propaganda, fabrication. No species evolves that fast. This is a threat to the galaxy. We must attack now, while they're still vulnerable. Khelen slammed her claws on the table. You didn't listen. The room fell still. She stood, trembling with urgency. You're thinking in old terms, warships, weapons, military strength. But Earth isn't using weapons. They aren't using ships. They aren't using technology at all. Earth itself is defending them. She swallowed hard. And you will lose. A hush spread like cold mist. Admiral Vesh rose slowly, mandibles clicking. Then what do you propose? Khelen drew a breath she hoped was steady. Leave Earth alone. Remove it from all patrol routes. Designated a protected system. Give humans space to evolve, whatever they're becoming. The council erupted again, but this time with fear, not defiance. Grand Chancellor Revik spoke last. Dr. Vorr, are they dangerous? Khelen remembered Mason's smile, his casual power, his effortless phasing through matter, his gentle voice, his lethal warning. She chose her words carefully. They are only dangerous if we make them be silence, long, heavy silence. Then slowly, terribly slowly, the council voted. Resolution passed. Earth was quarantined. All fleets ordered to avoid the Terran sector. Anyone entering without permission was on their own. As Khelen left the chamber, she paused at the viewport. The stars glittered, distant and cold. Somewhere out there, humanity was changing, and the galaxy, vast and ancient, was learning a frightening truth. Humans didn't need the stars. The stars needed to survive them.